Why do you think that dentists are more entrepreneurial than other industries inside the healthcare world? Do you think that we'll ever get to the place from a technology standpoint that a
Mhm.
patient holds their records and those can move like practice to practice, and I don't have to, like, just like you said, for the financial world, right? I don't have to do
Mhm.
anything to move my money
Yep.
from Bitcoin to Venmo
Mhm.
back to my bank account. I can do that
Yep.
right now, and there's limits and things
Yep.
like that, but it's my money and I can move it. Is
Mhm.
that what you see the health industry moving towards? And is it just dental that's facing this, or is it the whole health industry that kind of has to figure this out?
I think it's the whole health industry, and I do think like we'll get there, but maybe in like 5 years or so. I mean, like we think about it as dentistry, dermatology, optometry, whatever, right? But for a patient, it's their body, it's their health. It's
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
holistic thing, right? It's not like
yeah,
these like disparate like things out there, right? Yeah, so I do think we'll reach a point where your health record becomes interoperable, meaning you can take it from place to place. And honestly, that's some of the work we're already doing today. So like one of the really cool features we have within our product right now is our forms product. New patient forms, right? And the way that it works today, and it's like super fascinating, which is that, for example, let's say you go to a dental office. And you fill out your new patient paperwork through NexHealth, right? You type all of it in, and you kind of fill all of it out, right? Next time you go to a dermatology office, and you have to fill out all your new patient paperwork again. And if they're already using NexHealth, that means all you have to do is verify your phone number and your
oh,
email
that's so
address,
cool.
and
Yeah,
and we'll pre-populate everything for you with your consent, of course, so that that for the next office, your process goes from like 10-15 minutes to just a couple of clicks, right? So we're already doing a version of this, but there's a lot more work that needs to be done to like fully make this work. But that's like a
yeah.
small, I would say, sample of what I mean, when I say, moving data from point A to point B, and then, building those tools, those infrastructure to then enable acceleration of just innovation in the space. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as a patient myself, right? So I'm thinking as a
Hmm.
patient myself, I've been to certain situations where it was really, really smooth, and then I've been to
Hmm.
others where it's just like a
Yep.
horrible process, right? Who do,
Hmm.
who do you and I think that's good actually, because the
Hmm.
people who are raising the bar, that's going to put the demand on the people who
Hmm.
are kind of stuck behind. What part of healthcare is furthest along, do you think, in figuring this out and making it easy for the patient journey and getting that information tied together like you just described?
Yeah, I know we were just talking about how behind dentistry is, but compared to everything else, it's actually pretty far.
Yeah,
Like
that's
one of the
awesome.
reasons we started, yeah, one of the reasons we started focusing on dentistry is because we noticed uh, the people in this industry, in this space specifically, are much more entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Like you go talk to a dentist, an average dentist, you'll notice that they're a lot more entrepreneurial than like any other specialty or vertical you can think of. So yeah, I mean that was like one of the main reasons we started focusing here, and I do think it's the the furthest along, but obviously compared to like other industries like finance and whatnot, so behind, right? So a lot
Yeah.
of work to be done still. Yep.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that dentists are more entrepreneurial than other industries inside the healthcare world?
I think it all goes back to incentives, right? I mean, if you, for example, go to medical school and I don't know, you do like primary care or cardiology, whatever it is, right? You have a huge safety net, which means, meaning like you can just go work at a hospital, right? Almost always. You'll get a job, well-paying job, and you'll have security and all those things, right? With dental school and dentistry specifically, up until very recently, I want to say 5 years ago, with the DSOs are kind of coming in and changing this. You kind of had no choice but to work
Go
at an
out and
independent
figure it out,
office.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. And I think in dental school, like they make you go through business class for a reason too, right? Yeah, so like I think dentists just had no choice but to figure it out, and the only people that made it through the system are the entrepreneurial ones.